Welcome to episode 6 of Toolbox Heroes. I'm doing a lovely job today. I am in an empty house doing an EICR and I'm doing a test on it, which is lovely because there's no furniture to move. So if everyone was like this, it'd be fantastic. And I'm working in a really lovely road with some really sort of lovely houses out there. And when I'm working in a place like that, I always pop something through the letterbox to let them know that I'm working here. And I do that because I think that when people look for our services, they look for your services as well, whatever that is. You know, I'm an electrician, so if you're a plumber, plasterer, carpenter, cleaner, any service, they will look for people in our trades in 4 different areas, and they go from hot to cold. So the first place someone will go when they're looking for someone that does what we do is they already know them, they already use someone like that. So that's our customers, isn't it? Our customers that we've already dealt with in the past. So your customers in history that you've always dealt with, do you keep in contact with them? Because they don't wake up in the morning thinking about you. They've got other things to think about, haven't they? So do they know that you're still in business? Do they know you're still out there? So the first place people will look when they want some work doing is they already know someone. They already know some of the stuff they've used in the past. So that's number 1. Think about that. How do you nurture that relationship? The second place that people will, if they don't know anybody, they've never used anybody, the second place is their trusted network, their confidants, their family and their very close friends, their inner circle, if you like. They will go to them and they will say, hey, have you ever used an electrician? Do you know an electrician? Do you know a plasterer? Do you know a plumber? And if there's someone in that inner circle that, oh yeah, we used him, he was great, Andy was great, he came along, here's his number. That is the second place they will look. So what do you do to nurture that relationship, those second contact people? The third place they would go, if they haven't got those first 2, is the outer network. Now that probably is neighbours, because neighbours aren't like they were on Ramsey Street in that brilliant Australian program that we used to watch. They're not like that really these days. Neighbours are just people we live around. So the neighbours, they are that outer network. So when you're talking over the fence in the garden, or you know, you're walking along the street, oh, I see you had an electrician the other day, or going on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever social media, does anybody know an electrician? That is the outer network. Okay, so what do you do to nurture those relationships? So that's why one of my little touch points on that is posting things through the letterbox. And then the fourth place they will go, if they haven't had any luck with knowing anyone themselves, their inner circle or their outer network, then they will go onto Google, and they will do the code search then. So what are you doing to nurture those relationships? So that I believe personally, you might think that's a load of bollocks, but that's what I think happens in people's heads. First, do they know anybody? Second, the inner network. Third, the outer network. And then fourth, they will go out cold and do the old Google search. And we should be doing stuff every one of those points to make sure that we're appearing in people's heads. Because when I go to do a job, I want those people to actually want to go and get me work. I want them to go out to their friends and go, by the way, if you need an electrician, you just let me know because you need to know this guy. So the neighbours thing I was talking about, I have these little cards that I post out. When I'm sat in the van or in someone's house, an empty house like this, I will post them around. Now I've got my famous blown up man on there because I use this in with the marketing because that is on the back of my van. So when that appears through the neighbour's door, they go, well, I've just seen that bloody picture somewhere. So that's why I always tie it in. And it's also on the website. When they land on the website, it all ties in together, the old blown up man. And on the front there it says, need an electrician, because I always ask that question, ask the neighbours, we're working in your road today. And then on the back, I've got on there just all the usual gump, and I'll handwrite the number of the house I was working. Hi neighbour, I'm working in your road today and I'm in this place called Manor House today, at Manor House, and I'm carrying out some electrical work for your neighbours. Pop along and ask your neighbours what they thought of my work and would they recommend me to you. Also, if you see me, come and say hello to me in the van if you see me. Now I've got my 6-point guarantee there that I told you about the other week, and how to contact, and then a nice cheesy photograph. So over the weekend, I reckon if you get 5 minutes to yourself on a Sunday morning with a cup of coffee in the garden, just have a think about those 4 places that people go to find us. First of all, think about what are you doing to keep those relationships alive with your past customers, so when they want you again, they instantly think of you. Second thing, what do you do when you're in people's houses to make them recommend you? Have you got a scheme in place? Or do you nudge them, say, please recommend me to your friends and family? That third place, that outer network, when they go to the neighbours and they go to Facebook and Twitter and all that and LinkedIn and all that places, what do you do to make sure you're front of mind there? And the fourth place is when they go out cold and they go onto Google and they go and look wherever online to find you. What do you do to make sure you're always appearing there? Those four, that's what I believe that the sort of scenario it goes in people's heads. But the neighbours cards, an easy thing to do. I even saw the other day, while I was working somewhere, a window cleaner just put a handwritten piece of paper through the thing. I thought it was handwritten. It's very clever. It was printed when I looked really closely at it, but it looked like it was handwritten, saying, we've been cleaning your neighbours' windows, give us a shout for it. It's just a good thing to do, and to get out there and just post it. It's so easy. It takes you like 2-3 minutes to walk up and down the street and post those things through. But it just takes a little bit of thought and a little bit of effort of writing the cards out. All right, I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you something to think about anyway over the weekend. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Toolbox Heroes. See you then. Cheerio.